What's up YouTube, Mr. MSC here, and today we're continuing our Hell Hardcore Druid guided playthrough. This is the Elemental Druid, part Normal and Nightmare. We're pretty smooth. We started out Fire, we switched over into Wind, we got a couple sweet drops, and we are ready to continue. So let's take a look where we're at, and then we'll move forward. I have enough strength for gear, everything else is vitality. We are max, a little bit here, and I have got a point down into Summon Grizzly. I may end up putting a few points into Direwolf as well later on, just to boost the life of our Grizzly, keep our Grizzly alive a little bit more. Our gear is Spirit, Lore, these are plus skills. 3 to Elemental, Druid skill, Zami that we found, which is just God tier. Ancient's Pledge for survivability, Smoke for survivability, just a lot of resistances, about 100 res between these two pieces. A little bit of res here, lightning res here. We made this caster belt so we could mix in 1 FCR ring and be able to hit our 46 breakpoint, and then 40 fast run walk, and some random charms, and of course our teleport staff. Mercenaries got Duriel Shell, Insight, and nothing up top. He does need some life leech, so if I could find one more soul, I guess I need soul and an Io rune, then we could get him something nice up there. So let's go ahead and move into Hell. I'm on players 8 right now. Main reason is we can kill stuff out here. I will probably avoid like zombies that are too nasty or most all quill rats. But we can fight all the Fallens if we want and get a little leveling there. If you want to level more like this right here, we're just going to avoid all that. It's just like too nasty. If you want to be on players 1, you can be on players 1. Kind of all up to you. Hey, Shaya. How you doing? We'll go down to players 1 for here. We can also get our summons out. Don't need all the summons, but again, sometimes it's just fun to summon 5,000 things. Have a bunch of bodies all over the place.
This is where evil
Get some good damage here. Yeah, we'll just aim for the quick plus skill, and then also respecs. I try not to use too many respecs during guided playthroughs. So far we've used 1, but I try and save up a couple in case you want to respec into a different character or class, like style, if you just don't like the build that you have, or you mess up your build and you need to, you know, I need more of XYZ. So we try and keep them easy there for you. Immerse with Midor would be good with the summons. I'm not, since my summons are all pretty bad, the Midor is pretty irrelevant. Now, it does increase his damage, which can be nice. But otherwise, eh. And he's probably going to die. I mean, I'm feeding him potions and stuff, but he's going to die in Hell an okay amount. Mostly because he doesn't have any life leech. It's pretty important to be able to get him life leech. So this is the unfortunate part, again, of not having like a bulwark or something, or a undead crown, whatever. Nothing to give life leech there. It does make it just a little bit worse. But we can try and keep him alive, feeding him potions using shift and 2 monsters remaining. What? Wait, how did I miss 2 monsters? I just missed a whole zombie straight up right there, huh? Okay.
is that all of them?
I mean, if you can get 4, 5, 6% life leech, that's usually solid enough. Okay. Another point and twister. No, you need the life leech. Just having like a blinding or whatever is not enough. He needs a way to gain the life and sustain. How is shapeshifting druid like? What's the build? I mean, I've done a shapeshifting druid playthrough before. It's a little rough, for sure. You're generally running Fury Druid. Try and just kill these guys from afar if we can. We got a nice line on our tornadoes there, which is helpful. Fury Druid shreds declone. He will be very good against declone. 30 to life is nice. I think the 15 to life has worn out its welcome. For a Grand Charm, it's a little bit weak. Mercenaries Holy Freeze Aura is so good. Yeah, like I said, we have the double duty. Whereas I bring the cold with my Hurricane, he brings the freeze slow with his Holy Freeze, and it's actually two separate stackable slows. So between the two of us, anything, it just gets so slowed. So we can really do decently well together. One of the tougher issues is when there's like archers that are, you know, a little bit out of the range of both of us. Can be a little nasty. Hey, you know all about a double duty Denali, huh? Yeah, it's great crowd control. You think I'm talking about the kids. Talking about the Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett 1-2 punch y'all had going. It's okay. Y'all have... Wait. Who's starting for you this year? It's not Brissett again, is it? Oh, so y'all just go in full tank mode. Tank for Jeremiah. Then Beck. Hey, I like Beck. I think Beck's a solid pickup. I think he'll actually be a good quarterback in the NFL. My daughter does double duty. Yeah. You didn't think a baby could do that? Oh, they can do it. My daughter had a tummy bug last week, the littlest. We're talking quadruple duty in like 20 minutes. If you want to do the tower, this character has plenty of towering potential. I know, you just feel terrible. D2R stream or dad stream? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I mean, look, I'm a D2R streamer, but I'm also a dad 24/7, you know? So definitely a decent towering character. The biggest issue you have to watch out for, of course, is the archers. But otherwise, the physical cold combination can take out pretty much anybody here. Those are our damage types, of course, because we do physical and cold damage. Sure, cyclone armor stays on. Did you really just shut the door for your kid? What? Oh my god. Moo Girl had it taken care of. It was... Why is that clip? Oh yeah, if you do run into ghosts, you can either avoid them or you can just let your hurricane take care of them. Now, Might or a Ghost, I'm probably just going to move forward. But it is some options for you. Where Darce? She's chilling right under me. There's some archers. A little bit annoying, but not too bad. We'll grab Twister. What are you doing to us, map? How do you want to run? I like this. Yeah, she's doing well. Okay, and make sure your player is 1 for Countess, just to get the most runes out of her. Remember, she can drop up to low rune, but her special drop is up to Ist rune. So if you want Ist rune or anything below that, this is going to be your best place to farm. And there's a lot of great things that are somewhere in that range, right? Up to Ist, there's a lot of decent rune words that you can get. 18 to life is grand. Another little faster run walk charm. A lot of faster run walk there. Road back to 1500. You know it. We'll actually do this and we'll do this. Go ahead and run 2 sets of rejuves. Oops. Oh my god. And we can continue forward. For me, I'm like, yeah, we're good enough. I don't need to continue here, but if you want to continue here, you can. Is there any other Druid spec that can compete with the Wind Druid in Reign of the Warlock? I mean, again, Fury Druid, like, is better. You know, it's really good for Ubers and stuff. But without teleport, it kind of falls short. And it's kind of the only other one that has any chance to really compete well. We'll do some tornado casting and stepping as we go. We'll recast some things. Rabies Druid is fun, but then it drops off. How many rounds should it take to drop an Istrune? What's the drop rate for an Istrune? Like 1 in 300 or something? Go rats are so nasty, man. So not terrible. Maybe even slightly better. But all along the way you can get runes and Mal runes and all sorts of other runes, lems and poles, fouls, coes. And you can make hustles and you can make goodies, goodies, and more goodies. Alright, we have one more chance to imbue some boots into something nice. Extremely mild. Wolf Druid's good at stacking Crushing Blow. Like I say, great for Ubers. But dang, Waldo, that is amazing.
Bars can't hold the force of nature.
Better than I've ever found. Ooh, Conviction Aura. Again, not the worst thing because we do have our Cyclone Armor. But still scary. And, you know, one thing that you will note is how I'm constantly casting from afar and just trying to hit stuff with tornadoes. It's not always going to work. Right? Tornadoes just have minds of their own. But I don't really want to dive all up on top of everything. So I just try and hit them from afar. If the tornadoes connect, cool. If not, a lot of times they'll hit some of the minions or something else. But it's just a way to keep safer. See what it is. 29 aura, it's not bad. Ooh, Might Aura there. I don't even know who's given the Might Aura. It's all good. Go to level 3. You can't find anything above a low from Countess herself directly. However, some of the other, you know, mobs and stuff can't drop, so. Nice and simple. That's definitely how it feels, Denali. And just keep picking up a bunch of full rejuves. Just super helpful to have. And I'm moving forward in a way where I am killing a lot of stuff, and this is where, again, you have to decide, like, how much do you want to kill versus how much do you want to just teleport through. We could always just teleport through more things. It's a little bit less safe. Whereas if we're just killing and grooving and moving, then we're doing fine. Now, Hell Dariel is one of the best places to farm in Diablo 2. So if you want to go farm a little bit here, definitely recommended. There's a lot of items that you could find here. Could be helpful. And that one's kind of all up to you, including stuff like Shaco. But that's just like, what's your appetite for farming a little bit? Those are all decent ones, too. Would you recommend editing your local time to farm, TZ Andy? No. I'm not someone who recommends editing your time to farm. But that's just me. Especially because there's shards now, so you can honestly save up some shards and terrorize her a few times in a row if you want and stuff, but I got a family and work life. Yeah, and you know, like, that's fine. I understand why some people would. We're going to make sure we're players 1. We're probably going to lose our mercenary here, but maybe not. Demon Hide Sash. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe sack a little res to gain some physical DR. Probably worth it. Yeah, I can't get a good hit from my tornadoes anyways. They're all over the place right now. So that poison attack is the deadly part that you really want to avoid. So be a little bit careful. We also have this curse, which is annoying. Nope, those aren't hitting either. It's hard to fight bosses when your tornadoes don't hit. There we go. Little spicy. Not too bad, but either way, GG. Act 1 is complete.
Greetings.
We'll continue. Level 69. More Twister, more Vitality. And we get only a 10% PDR. It's a tough one. So to wear this, I would need to drop my 20 lightning res, which isn't as important because I do have cyclone armor. Okay, I think I'll do it. Where'd that ring go? There it is. I think I will do it. Go there. Put you away. Put you on. Put you there. That's nice. Give that to the mercenary. Angelic.
I'll put that to good use.
$94 to life. That's nice. And let's try, we're in Act 2 here. Let's try one more time. Imbuing some boots.
Yes. Good day.
Third time's the charm. They're so bad. Not today. It's a very tiny charm. Yeah, I was too. It's okay. Okay, let's see what we can do out here. Mostly just gonna push towards Duriel. I mean, again, we're a pretty good level. So, mostly want to just move forward. But if you do want to level up some, I mean, leveling out in these outer areas is not bad at all. There's definitely a decent amount of experience and a decent number of boss groups that can work out. And you can increase player counts and everything. What do I think about uniques that can modify skills like tornado, seek enemies, firewalls, a circle? I mean, that's just kind of like Diablo 4, isn't it? I feel like the problem with uniques that modify abilities is one, they become even more class specific, which is more like the modern ARPG. But two, a lot of times they become like a necessary thing. It's like you really would have to be super careful in how you design them to not be necessary. Like you say, firewall is a circle. Like a lot of stuff in Diablo 2 is just not great and kind of okay that it's not great, if I say so. Like it needs to be a little bit not always the best and something that you can just meme around on and stuff. But yeah, you don't want to have it be something that is like even more required, because then exactly what James says, it makes it even there to be even fewer gear choices. Let's say that there's a spell that makes Nova also cast static whenever you cast it. Let's just bring an example of one that would be too good. Well, now that piece of gear is always required. So now you have even fewer gear choices because you always have to use that piece of gear, right? We don't need more of that. We already have that with like Enigma and stuff. What if it's a crafted recipe? So you're crafting it onto a piece of gear? I mean, now you're just buffing all the gear. Does it just become a required thing? I don't know. To me, it starts to go into the realm of like doing too much. The effects have to be like... It's just straight power creep if it doesn't affect the pool itself. So in general, I feel like effects of things like that have to be so tame that it's really just more like a fun thing. Right, a little bit case in point, look what happened to like the martial arts assassin once Mosaic came out and altered how charges work. Just kind of did too much, right? So yeah, if you're adding any of that stuff, it's got to be just like a lot of flavor. You're just like, you could, you know, there's a bunch of options and they don't really do a lot, but they do a little. Like, maybe there's something that's like, whenever you cast Blizzard, you have a 5% chance to also have your frozen armor get cast or something. Okay, so now it like saves you having to refresh your frozen armor. And not too crazy. Something like that, right? Like it's very minimal. But it's nothing where you're like, well, if I don't have this craft, then I can't, the build doesn't work, or the build is so inferior. Cloud Viper Temple is going to be a little bit nasty because all of the snakes are going to be cold immune. So we do have to just watch, ouch, a little bit for that. They also have a nasty charge that can do a lot of physical damage. So just being extra careful in here and not going too quickly. How about roguelike aspects? When you earn a champion and patriarch titles, your tune gets a random permanent power. I mean, again, it just doesn't feel enough like Diablo 2 when you say stuff like that to me. I feel like I'd rather, you know, 99 just be like, or your matriarch or patriarch title. Just be, you get a little glowing skin, you know, whatever. This is true, Rick Dior. Dude, he's getting pummeled. map loves to be a wraparound map, I tell you what. A little spicy. Now for you, as always, go as fast or as slow as you want. And as fast or as slow as you're comfortable.
Welcome to my
Now we're talking, Resh. Okay, let's go find the maggot lair. Oh wait, we already found it, okay. This is my fastest guided hell video? No. This is also where I really like having telestaff because I don't really want to fight with tornadoes in here. And also just like trying to deal with beetles and stuff, or really, you know, if you run into some really strong things, it can be super annoying. So, again, be safe. Get your stuff up. Drop the staff on the ground. No, I've got the amulet right there. Level 2. Level 3. And the staff of kings.
greetings.
Perfect. Keep going. Arcane Sanctuary can also be a little bit annoying. Yeah, exactly, Gordon. Just because you will have ghosts that are physical immune, so this can also be an area where just teleporting through is gonna be a little bit more of something you want to do. Now, your hurricane should be strong enough that you can slowly deal with them. Right? And you've got all your summons as well and stuff to tank while you do. So we're cursed. We'll go ahead and knock it off really quick. Repair the telestaff. Get our stuff. And move forward. So like right here, for instance, these specters are physical immune, but like I say, our cold damage is going to be enough that we can slowly kill them if you do wish to kill them. If you don't, then you can telepast. Easy as that. Llama loves to quickly move things to hide them from chat. I mean, nah, I just move things quickly because I'm just used to moving things quickly. It's never intentional to hide things from you guys. I always just figure you guys can see my screen. You can see everything that I'm doing. Fire Druid can't beat Hell. Fire Druid can beat Hell, it's just a little bit harder. The Wind Druid's a little bit safer. And a little bit more powerful for just like the playthrough. But do I have a martial sin guide planned for the future? We just did an elemental martial arts assassin. Like, should be up on YouTube last week, maybe? Fourth way.
Good day.
It is an honor to serve you.
2 to summoning skills. It's not bad, honestly. You don't have to kill the summoner. And we have circle. Remember, circle is far left. Then moon. Then square. Then star or sun. Double down triangle. Double down arrow. Triangle. Circle over moon. To your left to right. And sometimes you just get a freebie. Shows you right where to go. Okay, we'll drink some of these. Remember, each one is 50 cold res for 30 seconds.
Thanks.
Give some to Pratham as well.
Thanks.
We'll get all of our summons up. Custurial's a little slow to kill summons. Make sure we're on players 1. We can keep recasting some of the woofs for him. Nice and easy. Voila. Act 2 of Hell completed. Was there a time cap for the potions? I don't believe so. Wow, 42 all res, 70 fire res. That's nice.
Diablo. I will find you yet.
Oh yeah, I have a review video thing I was gonna put up. Wow, look at that. It's like the closest we've come. 20 IAS, 90 ADD, Fool's Mod, and repairs durability. Bump that ED up. Make it ethereal. That thing tried, man. Actually, a lot of really good rolls. Respect to shapeshift with that mace? No. Okay, Act 3. Shouldn't be too bad, honestly, on this character. There's a lot of weak mobs like these Cloud Stalkers and stuff, and since we don't do lightning damage, it's not an issue for us. So you can just kind of like move through. All the demons will also die quickly. The biggest issue will be the big like thorny dudes. And then obviously we have to be careful about spooters. So we've got Sark the Burning coming up right here in the cavern. So let's go say hello. And we want to be careful with that. Try and be careful where we land our jump at. If we can't avoid him, that's best. Looks like he is going to be physical immune, which I don't love. So we'll jump him here again and jump away and just ignore him because he's physical immune, and that's most of our damage. And honestly, I just don't care to deal with him. Let's go drink a well. Set my loot filter so it shows just ethereal rare weapons. No, because there's not a way to... They tried to keep the loot filter true to the game, and in the game you can't tell if an item is ethereal until you pick it up. So there's no way to set an item to just be looking for ethereals. There. I don't know, iron. Definitely something in the 4s. 438 or something like that. But, you know, it didn't have anything else, really. Would an Act 3 enchantments be useful? No, because I'm not really a summoner. All these summons are just bodies. So their whole purpose is just to body block and like be in the way. Okay, nice. Love to see this. We'll exit through. And hopefully this leads us right to the flare. Ooh, it cuts left. Probably Great Marsh, actually. Alright, well, we have the waypoint by the Great Marsh. Let's go take a look forward. So I'm not feeling very hopeful about this. Nothing there. I mean, it's just, the thought is, if you streamline every single theme, if you streamline every single thing in Diablo 2 and make it all too nice and too easy, then it becomes too much. I believe that is their thought process. Sweet. Okay, so we do actually get a flare jungle. I did not expect that to cut back and then go up. Kind of strange, actually. Player jungle, we could let's give a try on players 8. Let's see how it does. Hopefully I don't die and regret it, right? Players 8 is a little bit nasty for sure. I don't love that we have shooters out here. They're gonna make this a little bit worse. But if I didn't have shooters, I think I would actually continue. But all the shooters is just like too much poison, and then you got all the poison damage coming in and stuff. So we'll just go back to P1. But definitely possible and a decent spot for leveling up. Yeah, here's P8 right here. Just a little too much because we just have too much chip damage coming in. So back to P1. Yeah, a little flat damage reduction would be nice here. Which our mercenary has. As he dies. Go back. It's okay. Okay, we got some champion shooters. And, you know, like in cases like that, I was cursed, I was poisoned, I didn't have as much life as I wanted, my mercenary was dead. Feel free in hardcore to just relax and take your time. Not everything has to be a speed run. A lot of times, you just want to just get there, right? You just want to get to the finish line. So you can ease your way a little bit more through. Because as I've said before, no matter how long it's going to take to do something, it's going to take longer to rebuild your entire character. So be safe. And it's not to say you'll never ever die. Because you know what? There's times where you're just going to die. And I'm sure there's going to be a time where I'm going to die doing this. And that's going to be sad. But it'll be okay. It's just the way she goes. Let's grab the waypoint. Be safe as you walk around cursed. I mean, the thing is, you're always going to be cursed a little bit somehow. Oh my god. Dude, Ormus and Charcy hate druids. Wow. Some people run around with Twister instead of Tornado for the stun. Yeah, but the damage is just so low on it. It can just be really rough. It is possible though. I'm just saying, you can just use your twisters. And just like, it does add a layer of safety in that you get to stun to stuff. But it's only a 0.4 second stun. Not allowed to die. Look, I mean, I'm going to try not to, and so far we're 5 for 5 on characters not dying. If we can get through this, it'd be 6 for 6. But, you know, like I say, there's a gem shrine if we want it. With that boss group there, I will decline it. We'll just go here. Wait, what? No, I'm saying 5 for 5 on my hardcore characters not dying on the guided playthroughs. Goodbye Leaf, goodbye Shockwave. Alright, back to the flare. Like I say, it'll eventually happen. Just, it's bound to. If I do 30 hardcore guided playthroughs, you're bound to see at least a couple deaths, because there's just going to be some times where you jump a gap and then you get crit by a fanaticism, extra strong Deathlord pack or something, you know, like... Agreed, Ryan. I say these guys are kind of annoying to fight, so we just won't. Now, Hell, players 8 lower crossed. Great place to grab a waypoint. Lots of farming you can do here, and again, bases and goodies of all sorts. Found there. Can also look for Battlemaid Serena out here in the tower temple facing the bottom left. Oh yeah, that was a rough one. Before we go down, we'll build up our army, because sometimes you go down here and there's just like a bunch of stuff. We'll be cold immune, but that's okay. We have our tornadoes. And hopefully they will connect. There we go. For a 3 open socket death mass, just as a, you know, potential to make a bulwark for our mercenary. Our Merc has actually survived pretty well for not having life leech. I'm very impressed with him. Perfect arc. Druid isn't gear dependent. No need to farm for gear, just for levels. I mean, levels definitely help, but you can see we're almost, you know, we have 8 more levels until farming levels won't improve our damage there anymore, and at that point the gear will be the next boost. However, you know, more levels is still more survivability. More levels is more, you know, being able to like increase your summon grizzly or something, and blah, 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 so. Now we have dolls down here, and I don't really want to deal with dolls, so we are definitely just teleporting past. And I'm even okay with my hurricane dropping off, because I don't even want my hurricane to like chip away at them and blow them up. We are anti-doll damage. Let our mercenary deal with them if he wants. That is... And I've had a lot of weird chest spawn locations lately. So many inner maps. Got dolls right there. Again, no interest. Yeah, save and exit. Doing the does like a 1 frame advancement in Resurrected. Okay, that's a lot of lightning damage right there. Try and be careful. Avoid it and move forward. Get some dudes off. Make sure we re-up all of our stuff. And Travancore will get the waypoint because you never know when you need to just save quit. Additionally, a lot of times it can be useful for like opening a portal and then going back to the waypoint so you can split them up. Yeah, I've had it happen like 2 or 3 times where I've lost a character on a save and exit. We'll just kill these guys right now. Our mercenary is probably gonna die. And right here, this is actually a good example of, you know, there's a lot of stuff that ended up kind of spawning around. So what we're gonna do instead is try and clear it out slowly. Play a little bit safer. And then we can go back in. There's also Conviction Aura up there, which is pretty deadly actually. So our mercenary will die with Conviction Aura being right there. It's okay. And this is one that we could consider resetting if we wanted, because of that Conviction Aura, or we can just be a little safe. Again, I'm getting hit by these Hydras over and over again, so it's pretty important that I make sure I'm re-upping my Cyclone Armor over and over again. Because the second that falls off, things get dangerous. Also good to just have them separate out a little bit so you're not fighting all of them at once. So you can just fight one boss at a time. There we go. Come back in. If you want to spend the time clearing them a little bit more as well, you can. Oh my god. What? I promise. I promise I'm not hacking. My god. More vitality. More twister. Repair our telestaff. That's crazy. Why do we sell it? Because we got the +3. Okay. More vitality, more life. 999 life. Go ahead and grab all of our stuff. I mean, you never find that in a speedrun. That's crazy. Wow, binary. If it's blue, yes, Dougie. Okay, we'll go through. We'll try and be careful of all of that. Wow, they picked off a lot of dudes quickly. 1 to Abyss, 2 to Enhanced Entropy. Not a bad book, actually.
Thanks.
Dolls, man.
Moo.
Stealing some non-hack luck from Blizzard's A6 advisor.
Thanks from. Don't be afraid to use your rejuves. That's why you got them. And again, I don't really want to like fight dolls though. This is not a great character for dolls. Not a great dolls character. Okay, it doesn't look like we have dolls in level 2, which is nice. Can also, of course, grab the waypoint here for a little extra farming if you wish to farm Mephisto. We'll leave the fire shrine alone. Make sure we're on players 1. And similar idea, we can just get up a lot of guys here. Make sure our cyclone armor is always on.
Mephisto's hatred.
Pretty easy overall. GG. We can check the super chest back here. Oh, it's locked. People are always like, why don't you check it? Waste all that time running up there for a locked one.
What do you need?
One of Pally skills, some Grimwards, a little Fool's mod. Not too shabby though. Just like that, Act 3 is done.
Not here.
No, I don't think it needs to be half the default inventory. I think it just needs to be a separate one that can only take charms. Let's continue into Act 4. Stick on P1 still right now. If there are souls out here, this is somewhere that, again, we only have 51 light res, but we are a druid. Okay, there's not souls for us. So we have cyclone armor. And as long as you're just spamming your cyclone armor out, you will be okay. So, kind of up to you. It's also hardcore, and that's also a chance you don't have to take. So that's where you kind of just make that decision. What are you feeling? Do you feel like, yeah, you know what, I'm keeping it up a decent amount. I can keep it up for a couple of minutes. No problem. Or if not, then go ahead and bounce out of there and try again later, you know? Again, just all personal preference. I mean, I don't think you should lose half your inventory. It'd still be better than what we have now, but as soon as that lightning hits, spam that cyclone armor. Pretty much, like, whenever that happens, I'm just casting cyclone armor between every single time that I get shot with lightning. It's like a stutter step, but instead of casting a tornado, I'm just casting cyclone armor. just slowly chugging right now. Getting all our stuff. Fighting some bosses as we come across them. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, for the first time, Binary. Go ahead and take the curse off, why not? And let's go find Mr. Isual. Because he's pretty easy to find and beat here. There we go. Tornadoes would connect with them, it would really be easy. There we go. Okay, level up. With, or not level up, but 2 more skill points. A bit more damage. We want to go to the waypoint. Yeah, they one-shot all of us, Zach. Let's just go ahead and get to the chaos. Poison and cold reds are meh. I mean, they're pretty decent still. Remember, if you ever want to just like stack up a bunch of poison and cold reds, you can just literally come over here and just chug potions and just get minutes and minutes and minutes of it. 30 seconds each one. Okay, let's get you. Let's get all of our dudes up.
What do you need?
Perfect. Alright, and let's go chaos and keep going. Now chaos as well, you can decide, do you want to slow jam going through it, or do you want to telly and get in? Again, kind of personal comfort levels here. And I'm still not even blind tellying, I'm still teleporting like safely, you know. Where I can have a little vision and see, make sure I'm not just immediately jumping into death.
Moo. Hi, Llama.
Something that's still important overall, thank you Spring Ghost, is to clear out a space. So now I know I have all of this space that is empty and safe. Go to T1 sub. Back. So if I ever need to retreat, I can always retreat back there. Otherwise, we just keep going here. Recasting the Cyclone armor and the Hurricane. You just want to keep those bad boys up for hours. Some tornadoes going. And try and keep our mercenary alive for this, but he's probably gonna die. And there's Infector. Aww. Oh, see, my Cyclone armor fell off for half of a second. But also here is where we're showing the power of being able to drag back to a safe space. I knew that I wasn't going to get surrounded when I was kiting back, because I had cleared that area, and so that is just so important in the Chaos Sanctuary to make sure that you're doing. Grab this. Grab a little more there. Back out. Armor's having a tough run of the chaos here. We're gonna be careful. That fanaticism aura is pretty nasty. So make sure that you're keeping your bear just in front. Keeping him alive. Now we can go fight Sace. 3 to Hurricane. Nice. It's just an Ancient's Pledge. Easy. I'll leave my mercenary because we're about to fight Diablo, and my Diablo is just going to kill my mercenary anyways. Not a big deal. Alright, we'll grab him. Because you know what? Maybe with all of everybody together, Diablo will focus on the other guys and won't get the mercenary.
What do you need?
We have the money, so it's not a big deal. Tornadoes down there, and beautiful. Alright, so let's make sure we're on players 1. Make sure we re-up all our stuff. Nope. Okay, he got him. Just barely caught him in the corner. It's okay. Bear will be enough of a tank here to just make Diablo focus on the bear. Easy. And just like that, congratulations, Act 4 of Hell is done. Not bad, Helm.
Greetings.
Get some of the money back.
Hail to you, champion.
Let's go to Act 5. Now we are entering a very dangerous area. The Bloody Foothills is a lot of ranged units. So do be careful out here. I think the reason it ends up being so deadly is a lot of people write it off because they're like, I just got out of the chaos. I'm godly now. And then they come out here and there's skeleton archers and slingers and demon imps. And they're just like just from all over. Now, we didn't get too bad of a spawn here, and that's always the thing. You can always reset until you get a better spawn. 100%. Reset till you get these enslaved and stuff, and it's just like not as dangerous. It's a little spicy right there. Come up here and kill this. Kill Shank. Killing Shank will decrease the cost of potions in Act 5 in half. They're actually double the price to start. As well as, of course, give you the socket quest, which you can use on whatever you want. Maybe we could use it on our Duriel Shell for our mercenary if we wanted, you know. Or just save it for later. Another point twister, more right here as well. If you want to do a little leveling, while these guys are cold immune, they're not physical immune. So you can actually level up a little bit doing Eldritch runs. You can increase the player count and do that. However, I'm level 72. I feel pretty good. I feel like we can just move forward. Do have some archers. Careful of the Midora. Bum, bum, bum. take the curse off with the shrine. And for a lot of this, you know, I'm just going to telly through. But again, like, go at the speed that you want. If you want to slow kill your way through it, all of it, you totally can. Yeah, I think that's a good summary. The Druid does a moderate amount of damage and is moderately tanky. That's about how I would describe him as well. Okay, now Assailants definitely could be a little nasty. Maybe we'll take it a little slower through this area. We also have some archers, which I don't love. So really just try and boss group. Get here safely. And you know, I also have that waypoint near the front of it, so worst case scenario, I have to save quit here, and it's totally fine. Right. Go back to that waypoint. No harm, no foul. Don't love snakes either. A lot of cold immunes here, which is a little bit annoying. Everything's just going to be cold immune, so unfortunately not our favorite. But if we slow play it through, and especially having all the bodies that we have, we can do all right here and make it. Looks like we'll get the exit. Let's go find a waypoint. Oh my god, binary. You tried hardcore SSF Wolf Druid twice and died in Hell Act 3 both times. I mean, hardcore isn't easy. It is very deadly. There are a lot of deadly things. Like, okay. If there's souls, you know the drill. Recast, 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 recast. With these guys, we can actually cast the bear on the opposite side of them. Kind of try and like draw some of the fire away. Because that is a lot of damage actually coming in. Good lord. Good lord. Yeah, the witches can hit pretty hard. So get to a space that's a little bit safer. Some bodies in there. And then we just let the bodies hit the floor. This is on players 1. No reason to be players 8 on this point. Like, players 8 is when you want to farm some spots, but here, enough. Back to Frozen Tundra and continue forward. Oh wait, did I save on ya? For some reason, I feel like did I not get the scroll? Talk to Maul for your reward. Don't forget that. 10 all res. Take the best part. So, I disagree with you here, Seattle. But we all have our own thoughts on it. I think a charm bag in a playthrough would be a terrible idea. Which is why I don't think a charm bag, if they make one ever, I would want it to be after hell or like whatever, right? Because during a playthrough, I'm actually considering charms. Ooh, this charm is 15 to life grand charm. Is that worth the space? And that is a meaningful decision that is made, and I really love. The problem is, once you get beyond hell and you get to endgame, the choice goes away. You always have to play for more power, for more MF, for more whatever. You never don't. And it's kind of like a failed experiment at that point. The choice should be meaningful in that you actually are considering one or the other, but especially because you can get like plus magic find and your clear speed and stuff matters on it. It just doesn't make sense to leave the open space. So instead, you're left with always being forced to play like that. Oh god. And that was terrifying. Having your cube for your inventory. And it's just a really dumb, like, way that it works. It ends up being a quality of life versus power, and you always get forced down this power line, and it's just not. It just isn't great. So I think having a charm bag is good. You're still making the choices in the playthrough. And then in the end game, now you're deciding which charms am I keeping of the charms. Because at that point, you're going to have enough charms that you fill up all the charms. So now you get a meaningful decision there, while still being able to actually go pick up items. I think that ends up being better overall, personally. That's my opinion. That's how I would do it. I am not the developer of Diablo 2, though, so, you know, if they ever decide to do it, they'll do it in their own way.
At last, the summit of Mount Oriat.
Okay. For here, we can pick up some more potions. The big thing is going to be, one, we don't want any stone skin spawning. I'd be hesitant about cold enchanted spawning on like, or like cold immune, you know, for like Maddock or Talic or something, but it's not too big of a deal. And then I just don't want Talic to be one-shotting me, basically. So we're going to look around for basically that. Okay. That's workable, I think. There's a lot of like lightning enchanted and stuff, but it's fine. Okay, let's see if we can't get just Talic down here. And we have all but Corlic. We can give potions to our mercenary. That lightning is so nasty. Ah. All that lightning enchanted is just so much. It's okay. Make sure we keep our Cyclone armor up. Talic is halfway. And the important thing is that I'm just like keeping myself away from Talic. Now he does have teleport, which is slightly scary. That is one slightly scary piece. Make sure we keep our Cyclone armor up, and the lightning enchanted is not really going to affect us. And just get ready with rejuves in case he does a dumb teleport stomp on us. Can also be ready with a save quit if he does it as well. Perfect. Okay. So just a little kiting around. Not too bad. So we did lose our mercenary, but it's alright. We do have a stone-skinned Corlic, but he's not physical immune, so it ends up not being too bad. Let's take a little bit longer. Perfect. Level 73 and a half. Let's grab our mercenary. Build up some summons. And let us continue. Okay, pike women are a little bit rough, so we do want to be careful. Deathlords are also a little bit rough, so we want to be a little extra careful. I don't love the mob spawns we got in here, so I'm going to be a little slower moving through level 1, because those are some tough mobs. The nice thing is we did run into champions and then more champions. So when you spawn that many champions, it actually takes away a lot of the other spawns that would happen. So we're not going to see a lot of boss groups. We're already running low on them for spawns. Ghoul Lords are pretty tanky. They have a high physical res. They can take a little bit as well to kill. But again, it's not too big of an issue. The big thing right now is really just doing this. Just killing the Death Lords, killing the stuff. We just want to get to level 2 and get to the waypoint so we have a safety spot. Okay, there we go. There's level 2. Go through there. Perfect. If level 2 is souls, 1, we could always reset. It will take us back. We'll have to go through, you know, some areas again, but sometimes that can be better than nothing. 2, we could look at putting on more light res. 3, we can look at just spamming out our cyclone armor. It's always a pretty viable option. Looks like we're in the clear though. We have snakes, hell spawns, and horror mages. And again, you'll just see me so often casting to put up cyclone armor because it's so important. Don't really want to fight all those snakes. Let's just jump. So important to have. And it's one of those things where you can easily forget it, and then you're not taking any damage, and then all of a sudden you just start taking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of damage in like a second, and you're like, what's happening? It's because your cyclone armor fell off. So, you know, just don't let it fall off. I have 1,700 damage absorbed from it right now. That's so much life. Oh yeah, we got ghosts, which unfortunately the specters, oops, are kind of nasty. Got to deal with them like we did before.
Yes, warrior.
Or either just let our hurricane deal with them, or figure something else. We also have health temptresses, which are the same with the physical immune, so kind of annoying, but that's fine. We'll go down here. We have ghoul lords. We have souls. Okay, so we do have souls down here. Again, we have a lot of damage absorbed for them. We just have to make sure we're casting it. Just make sure we're casting it. Look at how often I cast it. Oh, I got hit. Oh, I got hit. Oh, I got hit. Right? It's an infinite life hack. As long as you're... as long as you're thinking about it. Got hit. Got hit. Got hit. Got hit. Got hit. Got hit. Recast. We have lower res as well. Recast. Recast. Cool.
Good evening.
And that looks dangerous, but like as long as we're doing that,
Evening.
we're safe. Let's go in and fight these bad boys. Dark Lords are annoying because again they've got high physical res. But we can slowly deal with them. And we're just making a little bit of a safe space for ourselves again. So we have some room to run and drag some things when we need to. Recast. Recast. Am I overdoing the recasting? Oh yeah, totally. Does it matter that I'm overdoing it? Nope, not one bit. Recast. Recast. This isn't, you know, you won't always see, like, when I'm playing like this at a pro level, I'm not going to be recasting quite as often. But I'll still be recasting a fair amount. But this is just like showing you don't have to, right? You can, this is, a lot of you are not pro Diablo 2 players. You're not speedrunning, you're not min-maxing, trying to optimize every frame, whatever. Watch out, especially if you have dolls, that they don't get resurrected here. Another wave that recasting is a good idea. And another wave that it's a good idea. Curse is not great. Probably gonna lose our mercenary from that. Unfortunate that we hit cursed. But you know, when you hit cursed, you can either continue to fight and just like kind of slow play the fighting a little bit, really drag it out and take it around, or you can skip it. All kind of up to you. Actually, I've dealt some pretty good damage to him, and we could take a few more of them out here. But I feel pretty happy. Just drag and come back around. Once they're out of there, you're good to go. Let's go ahead and grab our mercenary for fun.
Salutations.
Afternoon.
Get everybody in. Make sure we're players one. Let's head over to Mr. Diablo. Or Bale. Now Bale is actually decently strong, and unfortunately does do a lot of damage to all of your summons. So he'll be a little bit of a fight. Additionally, if he summons a clone, you can just run away from where he is in the clone so you can't see him. Go back to town for 4 seconds here. Oops.
Yes, warrior.
And then you can go back in and fight, and the clone will have disappeared. Recast. Yeah, this is definitely one of the like hardest fights for this character. Is the Bale fight. just doesn't quite have the damage you would want on it. But he's still okay. You know, it's just not like fantastic. Head back, grab some more potions. We can also drink some thawing potions for some additional cold res. Doesn't look like those are hitting. Those are getting there. Now his tentacles actually do a decent amount of damage, so you will want to kind of be careful around those. And a lot of it's just going to be about trying to make sure you can actually hit him, because your tornadoes will like to dodge him a lot. And then resummoning your bear. So you have a bear to fight as well.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
We have a clone. I don't see any reason to fight the clone. I will run away from the clone.
How may I be of help?
Spend a few seconds in town, or just away from the fight. Come back in. Clone is gone. We can continue. Now, sometimes if your character just will not hit him, you can readjust, and sometimes you just have to change where your mouse pointer is for a temporary second. And sometimes it's not on him. If you click on him, it won't path to him. He's actually being really annoying, because when he goes into spots like this, a lot of times you can't click past him to hit him, and it can be extra difficult to hit, so. Pretty annoying Dale right now. Put our cyclone armor back on. Go back to town.
Good afternoon.
He'll hide in the corner every now and then. Make sure you don't run out of town portals.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Okay, immediate clone, so that's fine. We can go back. Let's go ahead and just get some more rejuves really fast while we wait for it to despawn. Come back in. Cyclone armor on again. And it was, you know, it had its ups and downs, a couple moments of a little more difficulty. But overall, not too bad. Congratulations. You are the owner of a brand new Hell Hardcore Druid. GG, everybody. How easy was that? No trouble at all. We ended up level 74 in the end.
Moo. GG easy
Almost
game.
fully maxed on the damage there, which is nice. Again, you can start putting some more points into like Direwolf and Grizzly Bear and stuff if you want. Or Oak Sage if you want to have the Oak Sage. A little bit more. Thanks, Pooty. That's kind of pretty much all the places I would consider putting points. Those 3 places afterwards. Here's our stats and skills. So enough strength for gear, maxed vitality, max, almost maxed, and then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And again, you could go more points over here if you want the summons to be a little bit better, and then you would lose a little bit of damage for that. But also, every time you put a point into Twister, you're also increasing your survivability with Cyclone Armor. So now my Cyclone Armor absorbs 1,720 damage. Just crazy. It's so much damage. Gear, pretty similar to what we started with. The Spirit, the Lore, the Ancient's Pledge. 3 to Elemental Skills. We also found a 2 to Elemental Skills, Amy. It's crazy. Got the Smoke. Still these same ones here. We did end up switching to the 10 FCR and the String of Ears just to get the PDR. So, just nice having some physical damage reduction. However, we could have continued with running, this 9 FCR belt here and then the 20 light res there or whatever we wanted. Right. And then our 40 fast run rock boots. And again, we could always just spend 10 minutes shopping to get 30 fast run rock, 28 light res boots or whatever from Nightmare Elzix. Charms were all pretty mediocre. We did find a couple things. 23 cold res is nice, and 18 life small charm is nice, but overall, nothing to write home about. Gear-wise, it was a pretty fine run, with the exception of like this. That was pretty crazy.
Can one gamble battle hammers in D2 are classic?
I want to say, can you gamble exceptional items? Yes. Okay. Chat is saying yes. Okay. Sorry, I'll finish it out. We had an Insight, Duriel Shell, and then just a random Helm here, which was decent. You can't get one. Seems it doesn't work. Only normal items. Okay. I mean, I thought it was only normal items, but maybe you can. I don't know what the upgrade chance is back in Classic or anything. I'd have to go look that one up. Yeah. And that's kind of how we ended up. So, we had the Prismatic Ammy, we had the Cold Res belt, we had the Caster belt. Just some various things that we shifted between as we played along. But ultimately, just a solid character. At this point, you deal cold damage and physical damage. You can take this character a lot of places. I would avoid places with too many cold immunes. And I'd avoid places with too tight of spaces. So normally you'd say, oh, Ancient Tunnels, there's no cold immunes in there. But I don't really love being in places with narrow corridors because tornadoes are just so blah. So if I'm really wanting to farm, I'm looking at places like Far Oasis, right? I've got my Cyclone Armor. Yeah, I don't love the itchy spawn, so maybe not with the itchies, but we could re-roll it to not be itchies, and then we could fight Black Raptors. We could fight different beetle groups. We can take it to the dry hills. We can take it to the rocky waste. Cows is the terror zone, and I guess it does okay in cows, though cows are a little dangerous. get more itchies, of course. I'm like, let me show you a zone. It's like, never. See what we spawn out here. Yeah, this isn't great either. It's okay, you know. It's like you can do some of this. The Bale Waves, honestly, weren't bad for farming either. I like farming like Players 8 Cold Plains. Let's go ahead and... Now, there are cold immunes in Cold Plains, but let's go to Black Marsh, and then we can go to like Darkwood, and there are some cold immunes around there, but it's not too bad. So you can kind of farm in some of these earlier areas, pick up experience out here. You can get good shrines in these early areas as well. We can obviously do Tower. We talked about that before. Yes, it does have kind of narrower paths, but it's not as bad. But really, I mean, if I can spend more time in like these open areas, I will. And then something like Flare Jungle is also really nice. Because, you know, especially if you get the lightning immune little flares and not the cold immune ones. So it looks like we do have cold immune ones. So, whatever. Again, you can like reset it multiple times. But I don't love all the shooters here. So that's probably like a reset. But I would say like Flare Jungle with just the lightning immunes and just the flares could be a lot of experience very quickly for you. We can check one more time to see if we can hit it. Even birds are fine. Nah, looks like we get more shooters again. Shooters are probably the one thing that I would want to really avoid in the flare. But these little like soul killers are great. But all those guys are just like annoying. They're just gonna chip away at you too much and be cursed and all that. But honestly, pretty good experience there. And then, you know, you can do fine. So, yeah. That is your Druid. GG. And I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube. Peace.